Angeles. It is April 17th, 2023. This is Drug Dealers to Businessmen podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Cofield, and this is the weekly tap in, and I'm tapping in. What's good, you guys? Yes, indeed. It's about that time. Well, I know we're competing against a lot of things right now, right? Golden State's playing, but this is game. This is free game. And one of the beautiful things about this is that you don't have to be here presently to actually watch it, man. I actually get more, I think, longevity out of you actually watching the replay, right? We're going for long form and evergreen content, as they would say, with this kind of stuff. So if you are watching live, man, make sure you tap in, hit the subscription button, so that you don't miss an episode. If you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on LinkedIn, I appreciate that, man. If you're watching on Facebook, appreciate you guys as well tapping in. Those who are part of the group, thank you. Couldn't express it enough. And those who are listening on the podcast from all over the world, thank you guys again. What a do, Samuel. Appreciate you tapping in, ATL. Well, yeah, man, I got some couple good things for you guys, man. This is episode number 22 of season 4, Technology and the Homies. And when I talk about technology and the homies, this episode is specifically going to focus on a couple different things. I've told you guys in the past about websites, developing websites. I've told you guys about buying your domain names. So if I don't cover that stuff, don't trip. There's an episode for that. But I might still, right, as we talk about branding and we talk about some of these things that make it a little more even playing field right now, because that's what we're really striving for as business owners, right? The homie, shout out to the homie. What's going on, lad? Oh, the homegirl tapping in. Now we go way back, right? Way back, for real, right? San Diego. This is many, many moons ago, right? And we're still good friends. That's one of the, I would say, probably the main benefit of technology is that you get to keep in touch. And that who would have said that, we would still be, I mean, this is you talking 30 years ago, right? If not longer than that. You feel what I'm saying? And we like nothing was missing. And that technology, I'm able to catch up with her and her family, her kids. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bell Junior High. This is Bell in San Diego, right? And I'm able to catch up with her kids, and then I can connect with other parts of her family that, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, that's why I love technology. Some people are fighting it and this and that. I'm like, homie, embrace this. It's not going anywhere. Make your life easier. You know what I'm saying? Make your business pop. Make it, there's so many different things that we have now that we didn't have back in the day. If we're talking about media in general, we didn't have the ability to control our own destiny in terms of advertising and things like that. Now we do. We didn't have low cost entry points like a Google AdWords where you could spend $5 and still have a significant, push in reaching people that are actually searching for your product. So I teach a class. I just got out of a class. I teach a class on web analytics and search engine optimization, or SEO. So I teach all these different things. And one of the things I've always said was I never want to leave the homies behind in terms of this stuff, right? Because this is this could be the difference between how people find you. Now, there are some outliers, right? Where somebody's so popular, it doesn't really matter if they're set up like that, right? Turkey Leg Hut, some of these places that are just massive popular, people already searching. They don't have to really set themselves up for success, but they should, right? To really capitalize on that type of attention. TikTok will make you popular, a lot of these different platforms, but are the homies taking advantage of it? Right? We always talk about, starting businesses and, trying to get big or trying to get more clientele. And it's not so much of actually like beforehand, you actually had to have a significant budget in order to really expand and reach different markets. Now you could start off with $500, $250, buy some AdWords, depending on where you are. And you can, if people are searching for your particular product, like one of the homies is making mini bikes, right? He makes these mini bikes, they clown and they nice, and it won't take much to set up, a little website, landing page, people that want it, that are interested in that. You could take their information. There's a lot of different small things that you can do in order to really capitalize on people that are searching for that. And you can have people searching in your area, take advantage of that. People are looking, how do you build mini bikes? You can write blogs. One of the things that I want to talk about today was artificial intelligence. Everybody's like, what the AI, right? This is a constant topic in the world that I live in, from whatever time I get to campus to when I leave, right? Educational wise, this is something that's a topic. And most people are like, well, what is artificial intelligence? Are they spying on me? Most cats aren't really processing what it is, right? And what it is it's basically language, or computer programming language, or algorithms that are designed to answer questions, solve problems, provide results, et cetera, et cetera. So we're talking about artificial intelligence. Another term that you may hear is called as machine learning. And machine learning is as it's absorbing whatever it is based on what it knows. And this is its running calculations. For example, they had a guy on 60 Minutes talking about an AI program in chess, and it said that it's developing tens of millions of calculations in chess moves all the time. So it's getting smarter, and it calculated so many that it got creative. And this is, like, I was talking about this today with my students, and I'm gonna share something with you guys so that if we can bring it down to more practical terms, so that I can show you guys what this looks like in actual real time and what it could actually do for you as a business owner, right? Because one of the main things that I saw that was beneficial with artificial intelligence was its ability to develop content, right? Ability to create content basically out of nothing. And I was up late last night, and I texted my wife and my mom. I'm like, man, you got to check this thing out. And my students kind of already knew about it. And it's a technology called Chat GPT. And if you aren't familiar with Chat GPT, you need to be. And it's an absolute game changer, in my opinion, right? And usually I'm one of the ones that's kind of like, I see stuff and I'm like, okay, that's him. I said that with TikTok. I'm like, okay, that's it. All these other things is kind of failing, compared to what TikTok's got going on. TikTok is a little bit of everything. It's sexy, it's entertaining, it's fast, it's robust in terms of its capabilities. And when I look at this artificial intelligence, I'm like, man, what can't we do with this? Right. So one of the things about black folks, minorities, we always the last in these conversations. And I'm trying to keep us relevant in this conversation that we can see what business opportunities we can pull out of here. So what I want to show you guys is what it actually looks like and what you can do. So I'm gonna pull up this thing called Chat, and I'm gonna share my screen with you guys too, so you can see me actually in live action do this stuff. And this is game. Like, most people want to see something different, right? They'd rather see, something a little bit more, I would say, entertaining, right? But this right here, it's nothing. It's not super sexy, but let me show you what it actually looks like. So let me see this new tab right here. I'll take that. So we'll go with yeah, we'll do that. So let me share the screen so you guys can see it, what it looks like. So this is called Chat CP or GPT. I call it Gompton. Chat Gompton. And those who are listening, it's basically an interface, and it's free right now. So it says try. When you get to the certain page, you'll have to log in. You can log in with Google. Hopefully you guys are still seeing this. Let's see. So let me go ahead and continue. And I'm just logging in. So I'm logging in, and I'll go to another screen to show you guys. Let me share this with you guys. So this is what the interface looks like. And those who are listening, I know you probably can't really, but this is what it is, right? And if you guys can really see what oh no, you can't. Let me show you. Get rid of this. So you can see it right here. And what it does is it's basically gives you the ability to ask questions. And it searches the internet and comes up with a logical answer, right? So, and just to show you guys speed wise the capability of this thing, which is completely insane. So, content marketers, those who are developing websites who need content, right? You writing a blog is a hard thing, right? So, um, I'll show you guys. So, I'll do a new chat. So, I'm gonna say, write a blog post showing how people how convicts, let's say convicts, can be successful in life after prison with examples in 1,000 words. Watch this. This is crazy. So is everybody with me so far? We here? All right. So watch this. So we got the new chat. Watch how fast it works. You guys seeing this? This is insane. So for those who are listening, it is writing out what line for line what to do. It's given. So the first thing was support system, entrepreneur and small businessship ownership, community engagement and advocacy. So giving you so many different ways to be successful after prison, personal development and rehabilitation. It gave 5 ways. This is unbelievable, right? So it tells you it can be challenging. So the first thing you want to do is get educated, right? GED, and then says John, a former convict. So it gave an example. For example, John, former convict, participated in vocational training while he was serving the sentence for drug-related events. He earned carpentry skills, earned a certification, helped him secure a job as a carpenter. Today, John runs his own successful carpentry business or employing several individuals, contributing to his community. So this is insane, right? So I've done this. I did a blog post. I had a student email me 10 times this weekend, and it irritated the you know what out of me, right? So in class, I use, you know how teachers are. We're gonna use this as an example. I don't want to be petty, but I do, right? Since you want to pester the shit out of me over the weekend, so I go here and I pull up. I say, okay, write me a blog explaining to students that extra credit is not mandatory and redos extra credit and redos are not mandatory. And that's what it wrote. So wrote a whole, as the school year progresses, we want to remind all students that redo and extra credit are not automatic entitlements. While it's understandable to hope for opportunities to improve your grades, it is important to remember that they're not guaranteed. So keep in mind, you guys, this is artificial intelligence wrote all this stuff. So it laid it out. So the student, I put the student on blast without putting the student on blast. Because one thing that pissed me off, the thing that they asked me for that I did, they didn't even say thank you, and they sent me 10 emails. So I was spicy. You feel what I'm saying? But think about what this can do for you, right? If you're a plumber, right? Or if you're trying to answer a difficult question, right? Some of my students talked about the ways that they actually use it. They use it to add to complex questions, like complex things. They say, well, dummy it down for me, right? Dummy down the theory of relativity, right? And it will. It'll take it from, and this is great, right? This, you got to check. Of course, you want to check everything for accuracy, but think about what you can do with this. Then, in terms of real estate, you're in real estate. You can say, I can write. Let me see. I'll do it right now for you. I'll say, um, write a blog, or you could do an Instagram post. Write a blog post on why the Dallas area is the best place to buy a home. You feel me? So watch this. Thanks. And then, oh, sorry about that. Then it's already writing. So one thing, strong economy, affordable housing, diverse neighborhoods. It's going crazy. Are you watching this? Right, because blogging, this is the thing I'll tell people for sure though. So if you one of the things about blogging, the reason why it's so important, right? Yeah, please do. It's yeah. So just check for accuracy, Leah. Don't just, but it will save you. Like if you want to put any type of, you can have it, you can even talk about and relate to a certain website. So you can talk about that, or you could talk about if you have enough data out there, like enough people have written about your name, you can talk about that. You can ask it to find and write a post about you. Like it's crazy. So think about it, right? The heavy lifting, a lot of copywriting. Sometimes we need writing for our website. We don't know what to put on our front page. That's to tell you. Another thing, blog posts, blog ideas. So I asked it to, I did a beard post. So I did a beard because we sell beard toupees. So I asked about, let's see, where is it? I said, can you come up with a blog title on a post for beard toupee on installation and care? And it gave me 5. The ultimate guide to beard toupee and installation, how to install and care for your beard toupee, tips and tricks, the lowdown on beard toupee installations and upkeep, what you need to know, the art, like like creatives can come up with this stuff like eventually, if this is what you do, but if you don't have that kind of time, this is gravy. Are you serious? Look at that. I'm giving away like some real game right now. And most people, like I said, when the one thing I'll say about game, right? Because game can be intimidating, especially if you don't know. If you don't know, it can be intimidating. You can take things the wrong way. If you're solid, if you understand who you are, game is not to be nothing to run away from, to say I know enough, right? Usually the wisest people, the smarter people, the more they learn, the more they realize they don't know. So their ears are open to almost everything. They're willing to try things out, sample all these different things, right? It's the people who are limited in information that say, you know what, my capacity is where it's going to be. I'm good. I don't want to process anything new. This right here is sexy as a motherfucker, man. Excuse my French. I mean, but as a marketer, I mean, damn, did you see how fast it writes? I mean, had that blog already written and you can tell it to put hashtag, you said, and I want 30 hashtags. You could have, like, say for instance, Leah, you got something on the market in Dallas. You like, I got a hot property. Write an Instagram post talking about this address. Use 20 hashtags. It's gonna find the hashtags that are related to real estate. It's gonna put 20 hashtags in there. It is crazy, right? And I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, this is giving us almost like superpowers. And that's the one thing I'll say about technology, or the many things I'll say about technology. It should turn you into a superpower, right? If you do it the right way and you understand it and study it. There's plenty of things out there. I'm trying to tell you. And most people are like, nah, man, talk about what Yeezy doing. Man, for what? There's people that do that. I'm trying to put the homies on as I've always done. Whenever I had good work, whenever the price is nice for me, everybody got blessed. It trickled down positively. And whenever I got game on something, I always try to share it with the homies. Why? Because I know if I don't, I'm not going to get any more. I get this stuff all the time. It just falls in my lap. Yeah, not to say that this wasn't popular. This is being talked about in a lot of different circles. But everybody isn't talking about it. Most people are talking about Republicans. I'm like, yo, y'all paying attention to the wrong thing. This is popping. This will save you a lot of time. Get content done. Lay it out before they're going to start charging for it, which is fine. I'll pay for it. I have no problem with paying for something like this that can save me time. I can say, come up with that my next 20 episodes. And it would, I'm trying, and they may not be perfect, but there'll be something to work from, right? So that I can save time. So you got to think about it, right? I was telling the homegirl earlier. I said anything that would save you, I mean, anything that can save people time or money will skyrocket your value, period. So if you could figure out how to save people time or money, even if to the point of where you're talking about this and teaching people about artificial intelligence, that's what's up. I understand my role on earth. I get it. It's not to accumulate a bunch of stuff. It's to be that explorer, right? I get first to the game, man. You the deal God made with me. You first to the game. You first to share the game. This right here. Think about that. What do you want to know? Right? It's almost to the point where it's better than Google. Right? How do I start a construction company with minimal investment? Right? If you're thinking about it, so I can even do that. How to like homies is how do I start a construction company? Construction, let's go with construction company with little money. Right? Because these are the logical questions that we ask, and most of the time we need these type of positions. Shout out to the homeboy James, man. He's going to be a guest on here. I just got to sit him down or see if I can get him to sit down. Homie just bought his truck, his first truck. Man, this is a thing when I'm saying, like, this is crazy. Like when you see homies execute what they said, like vision wise, they put the vision down and next thing you know it's done. So stay tuned for him. But anyways, man, just wanted to give you a shout out, homie. How to start a construction company with little money. Sure. Oh no, it's let's see. No, it's asking me. It's still on the same thing. Um, let me start a new chat. How to start a construction So here you go. Create a solid business plan, determine your niche, right? Identify if you're going to be a construction company with a specialty. This is crazy, right? Used equipment, negotiate with favorable terms with suppliers. This is insane, right? And it's there it is. Right? Here's 10 ways you can do it. So yeah, homies, what do you want to do? That's where I'm at. What do you want to do? Right? Because now technology, if you don't have the means or the resources, one of my students was like, man, how do I invest in artificial intelligence? So I said, why don't we ask it? Right? So we go over here and I'm like, here, call it the AI investment guide. This is what they called it. Now, one of the limitations on here, some of this information is a little bit dated, right? They haven't updated it in, I think, a little while. But I'm showing you kind of what the capabilities are. Some of this stuff doesn't need to be updated. The information is what it is, right? So it's not necessarily up to date like that. But these are some of the things. So it even tells you, like, consider ETFs, investing in AI ETFs. What is ETFs? Exchange traded funds. So find AI companies or AI exchange traded funds. So these are probably companies or like a mutual fund where there's a list of companies that are all AI related, and you can invest in all of them. Kind of. So, like, homie, what do you want to know? Right? Like, this is what a time to be alive. You dig? This is it. You know what I mean? When we don't have to use our capacity, our brain capacity for stuff like this, when we could use it to solve more complex problems or other things, right? This is time consuming. You know how long it would have taken you to kind of figure that out? And this damn thing wrote it in literally 7 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So the way that this speed is moving is the way some of these speakers, these home speakers, they move in the same fashion. Right. I'm an early adopter to this stuff. Right. I mean, we're trying to figure out how to maximize life. One of our most precious commodities is time. And if technology can save us from that, right? This is it. This is what we want. I know for me, this is a really big deal because you can ask it damn near anything, right? How do I catch? Okay, so we went fishing recently, right? How to what bait to use or how to catch sheephead, rockfish, and Pacific Ocean. Because I love the look of sheephead. Let's see what that does, right? There it goes. Check local regulations, use the right gear. Tell me the bait though, dog. Shrimp. Perfect. That's exactly what they eat. And it's laying it out. Try to target rocky reefs. It's doing the research for you. I mean, and I kind of posed it to my students. Is this like cheating? You're saving time, yo. Like bottom fishing on us rock fishing. That's what we do. We just went out of San Diego. They're very wary and challenging to catch. That's why you don't see them. There was only one. I think there was one sheephead caught on the boat. But it lays it out. So what do you want to know? What do you want to know? Right? This is the time to let's test it to see if we can find out. Right? Now is the time to get curious. Now is the time. How do I start this? How do I do this? How do I? Right? And then it boils down to, do I know what the right question to ask? Right? Do I know the right question to ask? That's the key, because that's what it comes back to, right? You get to playing around with this, you like, my God, I will be a genius. Yes, you will. Right? Why are we doing this manual labor when a computer would do it for us? Albert Einstein told us that a long ass time ago. Right? Why would I store a fact? Somebody asked him like how many feet are in a mile or something like that. He said, why would I store a fact when I can go to a book and get it? Why would I store it in my head? For what? This kind of stuff you can allow computers to do, right? What do we need? Right? How do I buy a house with bad credit? How do I buy a house with little money down? Ask the question. How do I get a job with a felon? Right? Or with a felony, right? How do I start this? How do I start that? How do I start a daycare business? How do I start a dairy? Shit, the sky's the limit. Now, the caveat, some of this information is dated, but just think about the potential of what it's going to look like in a few years. It is definitely not going to look the same. And what are we going to do to take advantage of it? This may be heavy for some, but hopefully some of you guys are learning. Now, they do have some artificial intelligence that will also copy and duplicate voices that are conversation-wise. So if you have a podcast, right, and you don't necessarily like your voice, you can try it with somebody else's. Right. But of course, everybody, we're not going to know the difference between the two. Man, we're already there in that future that we thought wasn't going to exist. You have to embrace this kind of stuff and figure out how it can benefit you. But blog and content writing, this is it. This is it. Like it doesn't get any better than this. So all you have to do is just figure out what questions to ask, and it will develop that content for you. So this is a little bit far-fetched in me telling you the basics, like setting up your website, things like that. But think about what this can do for you and your website. So if you're struggling, if you're struggling to figure out what I need to put on there, right? You could, Tanisha, you got an event coming up in August. You want to figure out what should I say? Ask this. You can say, I want to promote my second annual picnic. You better do a second annual picnic using 10 hashtags. We're going to do promoting our family barbecue. Watch what it does. It'll write it all the way out. And you include the hashtags, you better do it, and like a bunch of other ones. Like crazy. Like from a marketing standpoint, man, I'm geeking. I've been geeking all day on this. Because I'm like, yo, how do I start a laundry map with $5 grand? How do I, it might give you some, you know what I mean? An answer, but at the same time, it'll give you, even if it's like to where everything doesn't pan out, it'll give you some foundation to start with. You know what I'm saying? One of the questions I would even always ask, can I still be an attorney with a felony in California? And it'll lay it out. Can I still do this, doing that? How do I become a park ranger? Right? Random ass question, right? But how do I become a park ranger? You got to do X, Y, Z. You got to get this degree and because it's pulling from everywhere. It's like you saying, like you got a million nerds on standby with pencils and computers waiting to research something really, really fast and get back to you, right? And all coordinated at the same time. That's the power of artificial intelligence. It is freaking intelligent, though. Right? And sometimes it makes mistakes. You don't get your naysayers. Don't get me wrong. You bring this up to the wrong person, they'll scare the you know what at you. They're going to yeah, we do belong to the crazy. Yeah, that's the thing. The challenge is like we want to be successful. We want to catch things, right? And we're usually the last to the table because of our cultural beliefs. It could be, and also because we're not invited to the party. You know what I'm saying? But I'm one of the ones where in the position that I'm in, I'm getting exposed to the education, right? The newest and latest. So all these things, I'm always in that space, which is a huge blessing from God for me because he knows I'm a perpetual student. So what place do you put a perpetual student besides being a teacher who has to learn for them? So I have to play with a lot of this stuff in order for me to even explain it to the students and how they can benefit. The funny part about it is as the more you teach, the more you realize the students are actually teaching you. So they told me, one of my students brought up today, Professor, I told you about this last time. And you remember what you said? You said that it has to be a human part to it. And I said, I still stand on that. But at the same time, this is unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. And the thing about it is not so much of just taking over you with your thought process, anything like that. It's assisting you so that you can move on to bigger and better things or the more enjoyable parts of life, right? Why do I have to spend time on thinking of something like this, figuring out this map? Well, you need to. Do I? Do I really? Right? Well, that's old school, right? That's like, you know what I mean? Like you could talk to somebody who was on fries in the 1950s. They got pride of that. Man, we used to cut the potatoes and da 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 da. And we like, yeah, man, but these robots do it faster. Yeah, but they can't, and a lot of times people hold on to tradition too long, right? When you grip it, so that's why I tell people, I'm like, man, when you holding on to something, I can't give you shit. You dig what I'm saying? When you got something that's so tight, I can't put nothing in your hands. Your hands are full. And it's with data technology. So in order to do that, sometimes you got to just be open, like, okay, let me see. At first, it sounds intimidating. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, da, 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 da. Yeah, but analytics, all these different things. But I'm telling my students, I'm like, yeah, but y'all got to get on it. You could fight the power all you want, but yeah, he said you got to walk a fine line. The minute you tap or spark that nerve, your brain becomes yeah, and I hear that. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, like one of the things I love about my grandmother is she would always be embracing of technology, right? She wanted back VCR, she wanted to know how the timer worked, all that kind of stuff because she just was fascinated. And I'm curious the same way. I'm fascinated with this stuff. It is unbelievable to me, right? Because you can do so much because I'm used to trying to do so much with so little. Now that role is kind of flipped, right? When you think about it, now I can I can create, I can come up with ideas, I can do all this stuff to where I don't have to do a lot of brain exercise, right? I can spend that on other things, right? And one of the other technologies that I say is Khan Academy. I spend a lot of time on that every single night. And I've shown you guys, and if not, I'll show you in a view of what I do, just constantly going through that process because we're going to be challenged. This is the thing. This is what I want to say to you guys. Right? Because we haven't, some of us in our 40s, we haven't been in school in a long time. Our kids are coming through school now, and they're going to need help. They're going to need resources. So we're going to need to be sharp. We're going to need to understand algebra so that they don't get discouraged, right? So that they have strong test scores when they're applying to these college programs, right? So we set them up for success early in the process. Why? Because we didn't have it easy, right? So we're always trying to make it easier for the next generation, which is why I love and embrace technology. It's making it easier for the next generation. Life shouldn't get hard. For sure, I feel you. But yeah, this is what it is though. But so the way I use that is I'm going through the process because I have to retake the GMAT in order for me to go apply for these PhD programs. So I have to retake the GMAT. So I'm going through my process of learning. So let me show you guys kind of what's popping with me. I'm just switching screens real quick. But just kind of showing how it actually works for me in the whole sign-in process and all that good stuff. So let me just share this with you guys. And it keeps track of your stuff. So because a lot of us, like I said, we haven't done this stuff in a long ass time. And we could be, one of the things I'm not big on is pride before progress. You know what I'm saying? If your pride is bigger than your actual progress, who gives a shit? So I mean, if you're not making progress because your pride, like, oh man, I'm not going to tell anybody that I haven't done math or I don't know how to do. It's going to be exposed anyways, right? Appreciate that, homeboy. Love you too, homie. So when you look at it like this what is laid out, right? And it has all these courses. So me, I'm going through algebra basics, geometry and measurement. I think I pretty much finished geometry. And then I'm going in statistics and probability, right? Even though I'm dealing with a lot of this stuff now, let me take it back to the basics so that I know I'm extremely sharp, right? I did trigonometry in the PZN, right? So I did that in the pen. I had a trigonometry book, and I didn't know shit about it, right? But the beauty is that when you get these math books, they explain everything. But the beauty about Khan Academy is so does he. So if you aren't, let me go to resuming algebra. I'll show you guys where I am. And it keeps up with your stuff too, right? So you guys can see this. Tap in. If you sitting there and you playing pool and shit on your phone, you playing a bubble ass game, and you don't know what exponents are, you don't know what Pythagorean theorem are, knock that shit off, dog. Take it off your phone, put Khan Academy on your phone, right? And not just because of that, homie, quit playing. You know what I'm saying? Don't wonder why you get passed up for opportunities if you playing around. Nobody gets paid. There ain't no certifications for playing bubbles and shit on their phone, or there's no certification for being a professional phone pool player. And I'm calling shit. You know what I mean? I was one of the ones. So I had to check myself, like, man, you spending time on this shit when you got stuff that you know you need to be doing. And this technology is allowing you to do it right in front of your face. Take practice exams, the whole nine. And you sitting up there playing pool and shit, trying to get rings. And you don't knock it off. You know what I'm saying? So this is easy. And what it does is, if you don't know, here's the triangle similarity. It gives you the whole, this has been around for quite some time, and our kids probably know about it.
When we compare triangle ABC to triangle XYZ, it's pretty clear that they aren't
So the
congruent.
difference between Khan Academy and usually your punk ass math teacher is your punk ass math teacher won't pause and explain it to you. They usually just breeze through it, right? And it usually benefits only the gifted students or those who have trained in math. Whereas if you didn't train in math, math is hard, right? If your parents weren't, a lot of these people come from parents being mathematicians, or just naturally gifted in that sense. They just have a sense for numbers. Everybody's not able. So, like I said, I had a lot of punk ass math teachers who didn't want to explain anything, English either, right? They just felt like I was beneath them to explain shit, right? So this is what I've worked on. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit about what you thought. I'm doing this, right? So it not only takes, you can go here, but if you got trouble with English, so you courses, here's all the courses, right? So attorneys, anybody want to be an attorney? LSAT, right? Official LSAT. So guess what this teaches you? About law, getting test information, logical reasoning, how to prepare for the test. This is a thing of beauty. So if you're interested in becoming an attorney, you want to take the LSAT, which is the thing that lets you, the test that you take in order to get into a law school, right? And the homies can become lawyers. Quit playing, right? So that's that, right? What else can we do? Let's look at some more courses. So what's your excuse? What do you need? It even has life skills. So growth mindset, right? You got a problem with, be like, man, D, I don't even like what D be talking about, man. F that. Well, okay, but go over here and go look at the growth mindset activities, right? And you step over here, truth about your brain, right? Learning, setting goals, serendipity, right? All this stuff, man. This, and keep in mind, guess how much it costs? Free 99. Doesn't cost you a damn thing but some attention. So what do you need to learn? Pre-calculus, statistics, um, seventh, eighth grade. Some people need to take it back, right, to the basics, right? Don't be running away from education, man. Why? Because you're gonna leave your kids hanging. They're gonna need, say, for instance, they don't want to go into the family business of lifting fucking transmissions, right? They want to go another route. You're gonna, oh well, I'll just lift transmissions. Well, shit, homie. You need to probably go pick up some of this other stuff, and not for you, but for your children, right? This is the thing, man. We learn for other people, homie. For real. Then knowledge, yes, knowledge is power. It's the one differentiating factor that we can take into our own hands. We can take athletic ability to a certain extent, but this, we can control this, homie. This is easy work. You did, homie. What are we doing? Are we what I'm trying to do is remove that whole of excuses that everybody keep going to, all the homies keep going to. I'm trying to get rid of all these damn excuses. They all around, man. I'm like, man, let's get rid of these, dog. What do we need to know? If we don't know, I'm about to put you up on game, right? All these things. Look at that. Art history, biology, financial literacy, personal finance, college admissions, linear algebra, early math review, you name it, kindergarten. You need to put your, they also have one for kids. So if you don't have the time and your kids are like, man, I need an app, okay, homie, you spending 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day on this, right? The only way you can play these other games if you do this for an hour. Show me your achievements. Make sure you pass. Because a lot of times we don't have the time to do it. But these people, there are some people in this world that do some amazing things with this technology. This is one of them. Every now and then he'll hit you up for a donation, which you don't have to do, which is completely optional. But the fact is, this stuff is free. I just gave you two heavy ass pieces of technology that can change your life, right? I didn't even get into the Google certifications because we talked about that. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me put you up on that. Here go one more tab before I leave, man. Oh yeah, man, I'm on some talented 10 shit, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? I'm on WB Du Bois. I believe that, right? Go out and learn what you need to learn and bring it back to the hood. Now, what y'all do with it once I come back to the hood with it, the knapsack, I'm gonna just lay it down and I'm gonna head out and go grab some more shit. What y'all do with it is your business, right? So Google Skills Shop. Let me share this screen with you guys. Yes, homie. Whenever I talk my stuff, cats be like, "Man, it sound like cap. It sound like work. That's what it sound like." And I ain't never been afraid of work. And you don't hear me though. Right? Like never been afraid of work in more ways than one, but you don't hear me though. So um this right here is called Google Skills Shop. And what Google Skills Shop is it's a free resource from Google in order for you to get certified in whatever it is you like. So for Google Ads, so if you as a business owner have no idea how Google Ads work, no idea why it's important, what the process is, what the bidding process is, cost per click, you don't know any of that, you can get certified in it, right? Google Ads certification. So what it does is similar to Khan Academy. Look at that AI. Oh, I think I'm getting that one. Certification. So you get AI performance ad certification, Google Ads measurement certification, Google Ads creative certification. You can do a search certification. All these different things are available for you for that big old fat number, right? That everybody's charging free. So if I were just to go into the AI performance ad certification for beginners, it's going to talk to me about artificial intelligence and Google Ads, right? So you pass this exam, this whole. Let me just make sure we're looking at the same thing. Yes. So you pass this this is the assessment. This is actually required, and each one of these you'll start with, and similar to Khan Academy, it lays it out, explains it, right? You go through this process, more explanation, right? Talks about it, identify your objectives, build a strong data. It explains the whole thing. So, homie, back to them excuses that we don't have anymore. Stop playing. The key is, right? One thing is knowing where it is, right? You need to have somebody that you can rely on that kind of curates all this information and puts it together, which is what I try to do. And I try to use my I loosely because it's really God driven. Just wanted to put that out there. So you can get certified in this. You can get certified in if you want to learn how ad ways works, YouTube, which is very sexy. You can get music certification, right? Asset monetization, content ownership. You can do it in those certifications. You can also do Google Business, Analytics, and what's the other? Android. So if you want to look at Android Enterprise Academy, which is building apps for Google or on the Android platform, you can look at all this stuff on here. It is free. He said, "What about us? Not there." This is all. This isn't even related to California. That's the crazy part about it. Like, the thing about it is the one thing I'll say is I always challenge people to say this, right? We always say it's difficult to change everybody. Yeah, that's a really, really heavy ass task, right? That's difficult to do is try to change everybody. But what you can do is change yourself, right? Because everybody might be watching, right? So then you don't have to change them because people don't change because you suggested it anyway. They change because they want to change. Now, the thing about it is what makes people change even faster is if they see results that you obtain, right? They're like, well, damn, something got to be in the sauce that you eating in order to get these dang results. So what sauce do you use? There's a sauce that I'm using, man. I'm using this. I'm using this. I'm using this. So yeah, they watching. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't got to do much because it's the thing about it is it's they call it. There's a website called the Oracle of Kevin Bacon that I use in this example in my class, and it talks about basically the 6 degrees of separation, how we're all kind of close to each other, right? So when you like say for instance, I got people in my circle that have come to this podcast to watch it, right? They're in other circles. So if they take a little bit of what I got going and they go into those other circles, there's people in those circles that are in other circles. So the message can get spread really, really quick. The virality of it, you did, right? Because it all depends on what circle you in, what you absorb, and what you share. So no, I can't change each individual. I can change myself. You could scrape some game off of me, and hopefully somebody scrapes some game off of you, and the message continues to spread. Right. So that's really the way that I foresee changing the world. It's a difficult task, but I gave you guys 3 free um, technologies that will actually change you. change the way you do business, change actually, if you get certifications in certain things, now you're of value to other people. So yeah, man, no, that's what I'm on. Still listening to The Power by the lady who wrote The Secret and all that good stuff. So I'm listening to that still. I listen on a regular basis. It's good for my soul right now. Um, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, appreciate that. And the thing about it is, trying to get people to do things, that's a difficult task. But show them, but the proof is in the pudding, man. Show them how you move better than you tell them how you move, and they'll copy that a lot faster. That will complete. Love you, homeboy. Yes, indeed, homie. Um, that will conclude our weekly tap in for this week, man. Hopefully, you guys got something out of it. Those who are listening, I'm gonna put those links in the description, so I will not leave you guys hanging. For those, I appreciate that, homie, man. I try, man. This is God stuff, man. So it's not even about me. I just show up because God, we got a thing going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Where we changing ourselves on live every Monday. Hopefully, cats can take notes. You dig? So please keep us in your prayers. Leave a review if you can so we can spread this message and get more and more people involved. The more questions that they ask, the more answers we get out there. Appreciate that, Leah. Appreciate that, Tanisha. Man, it's love for you guys even spending that commodity with me, and I certainly appreciate you tapping out.